Hello YouTube. Well, I am finished barbecuing for today. I want to show you how I got from this to here. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do a rough chop of the yellow onion. And that's like, when I say a rough chop, just cut them into big chunks and put that to the side. Then we're going to need a smaller onion kind of minced. And that's going to be for our hamburgers. Because it's going to mince those really good for us. Okay, next we're going to go ahead on and do the same process with our bell pepper. We're going to have a fresh, rough chop of the bell pepper for the ribs, which we are going to pre-boil. And then we're going to have the minced for the hamburgers. And this is a very large bell pepper, so we can use it for both. Normally you would need 2 bell peppers, one for each, but so we got, those will be for our hamburgers. And while Dad is doing it, I'm going to go ahead and start on the ribs. These are our ribs here. Okay. And we have St. Louis style ribs, which is basically spare ribs without the skirt on it. What I had started doing, you're going to see something loose. I was trying to measure a portion to see kind of like what the calorie would be for ribs. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cook them on the grill. Then I'm going to do like I do with the other meat, just measure it then. So with the ribs, I'm going to turn the bone side up. Start with some Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. And you can season these pretty heavy because they're going to be boiled in water. And then I'm going to use a Cajun seasoning. Black pepper. Garlic powder. Let them season really heavy because they are going to be boiled, and most of the seasoning will come off. Turn them over. One thing about dieting, for me, it is basically portion control and try to eat a little more healthy. I incorporate a lot more vegetables and fruits in my diet for snacks other than having sugary snacks. Again, I'm adding the Creole seasoning, Tony Chachere's, and I'm adding a Cajun seasoning. adding some black pepper. And some garlic powder. With clean hands, I'm going to kind of like just rub the seasoning in the meat. Just kind of give it a good rub. And, you know, some people at this point, this is when they just put it on the grill like this, a slow cook, and that's fine. You can do that. But we're going to boil ours, and then we're going to put them on the grill. And I'm going to get my vegetables added in. Start with my onions. Thanks, hubby. Put those in, and then my bell peppers. And I got a nice big old pot over there, already boiling, and that's where I'm about to drop these bad boys in. Okay, have my water already boiling. So I'm going to go ahead and place my ribs with the seasoning in the pot. And remember, you have your water already boiling before you even start. A nice large pot. And that's why I was saying you can kind of over season it, because a lot of the seasoning will cook off, boil off. But if you over season, it'll be just right. Alright, I'm going to let that boil, and I got a lid for that. And it's probably going to boil for about a good 30 minutes. And then we'll be ready to take it to the grill. Alright, now we are ready to start our burgers. We're going to start off with some black pepper, some Cajun seasoning, some garlic powder, and some steak seasoning. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mix the seasonings in the meat. And now I'm going to incorporate my bell peppers that I had minced up, and my yellow onions. Okay, at this point, I'm going to put my spoon down and use my hands. Don't want to handle it too much, but I do want to make sure that the onions and bell peppers are well incorporated in the meat. And then I'm going to start forming my patties. Make my patties about the size of a tennis ball. And then just flatten them out. Flatten them out and put them in the pan. Okay, the hamburgers patties have been formed, and they are now ready for the grill. Alright, I'm just going to move the ribs around a little bit. Come along just fine. Okay, and I'm taking my fork, I'm just kind of poking them because we don't want them to get so done where the meat will be falling off the bone. But we do want it to be nice and tender. So when they're on the grill, all we can worry about is to get nice and smoky, not cooking. Alright, let me see if I can multitask. I see a lot of people, they do their cooking videos holding the camera. I'm going to see if I can do that. I should be able to. A lot of things, time is so important, especially when you have children. And that's why I learned to I used to be one of them kind of cooks. Everything had to be from scratch. You know, you learn from your grandmama and your mama. That's how we do it down south. And that's easy when it's just you. But when you get a job and throw a bunch of children up in there, you know, you be tired at the end of the day. That's not good. You have to reserve yourself. So, let me just show y'all something. This is some of the ground meat that was left over from the hamburgers as well as onions. I'm going to take that and put it in the pot. And make sure I got all of it in here. Honey, you need some help?
He said the hamburgers will be ready.
It's ready to turn?
I think he said it's supposed to be ready soon or something.
Okay. I'll be back out there in a minute. I want to catch them turning them if I can. Alright, so I'm going to let this just cook for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to run outside and see if I can catch it there while he's turning. This is nothing but a little bit of leftover ground meat from the hamburgers with some onions. I'm going to brown it real good, and then I'm going to add it to my... Can I see? Let's see how it's looking. Ooh, shucks. Boy, you doing your thing. That looks good. Almost look, yeah. We're going to go ahead on and put some barbecue sauce on this side. They're cooking nice and slow. Looking real good. You on top of it, Nia? My daughter holding the camera. There, you know, you could have rinsed something and not be ready for the, put them in here. Oh. Okay. Then some barbecue sauce, and this is just some hickory smoked barbecue sauce. And Dad, what did you do? You turned them over.
Turn them over once.
Turn them over only once. So you cook on one side how long?
4 to 5 minutes, and then 4 to 5 minutes the other side and take them off.
Okay, he said 4 to 5 minutes on each side and take them off. Alright, so let that smoke a little bit. Hey, now he is taking the burgers off the grill. You got that? Okay. See, your onions are still grilling. Alright, how quick and good is that? Burgers are done. Hold that for me, Dad. Let's go and take them into the house. Alright, so I've added the ground meat that was left over in the bottom of the pan and the onions and bell peppers. Kind of chop that up. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add my baked beans. I'm going to just use the Bush original baked beans. You can also use the grilling beans. But I'm going to add about 2 cans of the Bush original baked beans. Then I'm going to put a little chili powder on them. And we're going to put them on the grill for a little bit and let them smoke. Or you don't have to put them on the grill. You can just eat them right here like that. So that's just another little thing you can add to spice up your beans. We have our can of beans poured in. I'm going to pour in another can. Two cans of baked beans. 2 large cans of baked beans. When we cook out, we try to cook out. Now I'm adding chili powder in on the beans. And you could do this without the meat, of course. But a little bit of meat just makes it all so nice. And then, of course, you can add about a tablespoon of some of the barbecue sauce. I'm just gonna let that cook down. Now you can let it smoke on the grill, or you can just cook it inside. But for right now, we're gonna let it turn my heat up so we can kind of let it start simmering and just cook down a little bit. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I got this, it's like a strainer, but I'm just holding the meat back and pouring the water off. And trying to also hold my meat, capture some of the seasoning. I got my big pot braced against the sink. It's not like I'm holding it, you know. And what you probably want to do is get someone to, normally, you know, like your husband or someone, I don't know if I take a chance of this. This is a heavy big pot. You got to be real careful. Pour the water off while trying to still keep the bell peppers and onions that's in the meat. So what I'm about to do with the beans now, I'm pouring them in this iron skillet. And I am going to put these on the grill.
We're going to let that sit for a few minutes and get the nice, authentic, smoky flavor.
So we have our baked beans here. And they are ready to come off the grill. Okay, let's take them on off. Alright, we're putting our ribs on the grill. Been easy with a spoon. Put a little bit. Alright, let that cook. Hold it on down. Okay, let's check our ribs. Coming along really good. We just kind of give them a turn over. Come along nice, perfect. And put the rest of the onions on there. And bell pepper. Next thing we'll be out here to do is to put the sauce on. Time to add the sauce. What we'll do, just kind of pour the sauce on like that and then spread. Put it on. Spread it on out. come along just great. It's really windy, got the gate slamming. Okay, now we're going to just let that smoke a little bit with the sauce on it. Come back, and we're going to do the other side. Alright, let's get ready to do the other side. This is smoked on here really nice. Turn them over. Take our time. I got it, babe. Thanks. That's the onions. Some grill marks on it. A little piece of bell pepper made a difference for me. They are really nice and tender. We're ready to barbecue the next side. And once this is done on this side, after we let it smoke on this side, they are ready to be taken off. We're used to having a lot of family over when we do cookouts like this. But this holiday is kind of going to be just a little rest and relaxation. It's just the family today. Alright. Let that smoke. Alright, we are done, and that's our finished product. I'm going to take my fork going right through them. They're just as tender as they can be. Very tender. Now, how about that?